So in this post, I want to share some important awareness about the healing process. It's not always what you think. So I'm going to share 5 signs that your nervous system and your body are actually healing when it might feel like the opposite is happening. This is really important because we tend to think that the healing process is rational, it's like a straight line. We should feel some progress every day. Starting to understand how the body communicates, how the nervous system functions, and how all the stress that we've experienced over a lifetime has been held within the body. This stress isn't just going to disappear overnight. It takes time, and it's in that conscious connection. And it really helps to understand what it is your body's communicating. So here are 5 signs that your body and your nervous system are coming back into balance. The first thing you might notice is that you may start to feel worse before you start to feel better. And really what's happening is that as you start to connect with your body and start to create those inner conditions for healing, your body takes this as a signal of safety. And in safety, your body can start to come back into balance. It can start to let go. And it's letting go of all that stress, all that energy that's been held in, perhaps for a very long time. And it's starting to release this from the body. And so in this way, you can start to feel worse before you get better. The symptoms that you've been experiencing might feel stronger, might flare up. And this can be quite confusing because you can think, well, there's something going wrong, it's not working. And it can create a lot of worry and then a lot more stress and tension. So it's important to give your body and yourself time. Second sign is that you start to feel things more intensely in your body. Perhaps you weren't aware of what you were feeling before, or you were feeling numb. And the more you start to connect and be present in the body, you're going to start to be aware of different sensations. And this can feel a little bit overwhelming at first. You might be aware of discomfort, muscular tension. You might be aware of pain. And again, it might feel heightened because you're bringing your attention to something. What happens in stress is there is a disconnect. We don't tend to be very present in the body. And that way, when we start to bring our awareness back into the body and to create the conditions for healing, for the body to let go, to come back into balance naturally, you can become aware of all these sensations, everything that you're feeling. It's a positive sign that you're starting to reconnect with your body, with yourself, and reconnect with what you're feeling, everything that may have been suppressed for a long time. A third sign that your body's coming back into balance is that you can feel incredibly tired. And there's nothing wrong with this. Again, it's through that conscious connection, and we're starting to see patterns and where stress has been held in. And as the body releases and starts to come back into balance, it needs to be able to come back into a state where it can rest and repair. There's so much healing that happens when we're in a state of rest or deep relaxation. As your nervous system and body start to come back into balance, there may be times when you feel incredibly tired, you need more sleep. This can feel a little bit uncomfortable. It can maybe even feel a little counterproductive because you think, well, I'm healing and therefore I should feel more energetic or feel better in some way. But as much as possible, listen to your body. Again, it's about being able to respond to your needs and to understand what it is your body's showing you. And if we're resisting that need for rest or worrying that there's something wrong, again, we're creating unnecessary tension and stress in the body. So it's allowing the body and yourself to come back into balance and to give yourself the rest that you need. A fourth sign is that you might feel more emotional. And again, I've explained this before, that a lot of the stress that we experience early on in life causes us to suppress what we're feeling, to not feel comfortable feeling or expressing what we feel, to not feel safe in what we're feeling or safe in the body. And again, in that conscious connection, what happens is the body starts to feel safe, which is a good thing. The emotions and the energy that have been suppressed, held in, which have created blocks or imbalances in the body, in our health, start to come up to be acknowledged, to be expressed, to be felt. And that's such an important part of the healing process. But again, it can be quite uncomfortable because you have all of this emotion coming up. You might feel tearful for no reason. You might be feeling easily upset, agitated, irritable, might feel angry. And as much as possible, and again, in that conscious connection or being aware of what it is you're feeling and what your body's communicating, allow for this healthy expression of what it is you're feeling. We're no longer needing to suppress. But again, it can be quite confusing and overwhelming if we're not aware that this is a sign of healing. And the fifth sign is a little bit of a mix of things. They're more unusual symptoms. The body can release energy through yawning, through heat, through shivering, through shaking and jolting sometimes. And again, this can feel quite strange if you're not used to it the first time you've experienced this. But again, it's a release of energy. Think of it as a release of energy, of emotions that have been held in, or mental agitation, something that's been suppressed. And again, it's all this energy that we hold in and suppress from very early age, over many years perhaps, that the body's had to hold on to and to do something with. And as you start to consciously connect and the body starts to feel safe and can start to release these different patterns and energy that's been held in, it comes out in different ways, okay? And it's normal to feel confused. It's normal to feel doubt as you go through this. Because again, what you're doing is you're bringing consciousness to your experience, perhaps for the very first time. And you're in that conscious connection with your body. You're starting to feel so much. And again, it's not a straight line healing. It's not always rational. But it's about being able to observe and be present and to respond to what you're feeling in the moment. And to become a healing presence. To progressively respond to your needs. To show up with kindness and compassion, because healing is challenging. It's not an easy process, and it's not something that happens from one day to the next. We need to meet ourselves in that moment, in that way, with kindness, with patience, with compassion, when we need it most. And that's not always easy. It's also something we're learning to do. So I hope this was helpful. 5 signs that your body and your nervous system are healing. And it's important that we understand this, understand how the body's communicating, how the body heals. Okay? So please feel free to share your experiences in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. And as always, if you're interested in learning more about the 6-week Alchemy of Stress daily connection, all the details are in the description box below. Okay, thank you. And I look forward to seeing you, as always, in the next post.